What up, everybody? Dan Greer with Forge coming at you today with your 5-minute pep talk. Today, I'm going to talk all about leading as a dad. Here's the thing: I got a couple kids behind me. I got a wife behind me. I even got a kid right in front of me. Let's see. Let's see. Can I get him? Can I get him? There he is. There he is. There he is. Check him out. I'm sad. He says I'm sad, but that's okay. They see him call me fat. I'm kidding. Anyways, he probably does that too. I'm just joking. I want to talk a little bit about leading as a parent. One of the things that I've learned as a dad is that it's probably one of the hardest leadership things that you got to do is leading as the head of your household. Now, you be a mom and lead too. I'm not saying anything bad about that. Okay. I love that my wife stands behind me and supports me in everything that I do. And I love that she's not afraid to be a woman. Okay. Now, what I am going to say, leading as a dad is one of the hardest things. And here's why. Because everything I do, they're watching. I get mad at some dude in traffic because he aggravates me. They're watching me. They're like, oh, dad gets mad. It's okay for me to be mad. If I'm like, oh, this traffic sucks. They're like, oh, dad thinks traffic sucks. It's okay that traffic sucks. If I get mad and let out a bad word, especially when they're little, they start thinking that bad word's funny. And they start saying it too, right? So leading as a dad is probably one of the hardest things I've ever done because you're constantly being watched, everything you do. When you're leading at work, it's a little bit different. You know why? Because guess what? Everybody at work already thinks you're stupid. They already think you don't know what you're talking about because you're the boss, right? They think that they have to listen to you. Your kids want to listen to you, at least to begin with. And they get to be about 13 or so. Then they know better than you. But that's beside the point. Yeah, my 13-year-old just glared at me. That's okay. He made my book too. Don't worry. Great Grease and Grace. He's in that bad boy. He's the 13-year-old munching on fruit snacks, trash talking. Yeah, that's him. Get the book. Check it out. Anyways, I digress. My point is the hardest part of leading as a dad is that you're always on. You're never off, no matter what you're doing. Right now, guess what's happening? We're walking in Niagara Falls, and everybody is with me, and I'm shooting a video. Good or bad? I can't answer that question right now. You know what the truth? The truth is as I record this podcast, as I shoot this video, they're learning. They're learning that it never gets turned off whenever you own the business. They're learning that you can work no matter where you're at in the world. They're learning that you can combine family time and work together. They're learning all that stuff as we go. And we've been doing some fun stuff on this trip to help teach them more about it. One of the fun things we've been doing, sometimes fun, sometimes a little stressful as a dad, I've been having them pick out restaurants to eat at. I'll be like, hey, we're on this route. I want to eat in the next hour. What are we going to eat? And they'll be like, ugh. And the first time they did it, it was horrible. It was atrocious, right? Because anytime you do reversing, it sucks. Yeah, here's Jacob. He says, no, it didn't suck. That's what he thinks. It was horrible. It took us there's some aggravation in the vehicle, right? But guess what? We've been doing this now for 20 days. And they don't pick every single time. They pick most of the time. And what happens? Most of the time, they pick out a great place. They found this amazing Italian place for lunch today in a little town called Waterloo, New York. Yeah, you probably never heard of Waterloo, New York. Now, if you're a John Deere fan, you might know Waterloo, Iowa. But yeah, I didn't know Waterloo, New York existed. I want to be honest with you. But they found an amazing Italian restaurant that was super cool there. And the other night, they found a taco joint in Keene, New Hampshire. And then they found, what's that place you found? Joe's Crab Shack? No, it was like a hole in the wall in where were we at? Do you remember? He says, I don't know. It was Connecticut or something. And he found this hole in the wall. It was Fairfield, because it was before the lacrosse game. He found this hole in the wall place to eat it. It was amazing. I favorited it on Google. That's how amazing it was for me. But when we first started, it didn't go very smooth. But that's one of the ways that we lead as parents, right? We allow them to fail so they can grow. Because here's what happens. If we don't ever allow our kids to fail, what happens when they get out of the house? Same with our employees. We don't ever allow them to fail. What happens? They're going to leave. They're never going to win. You're never going to understand why they can't operate when you're not there. So you're never going to understand why you think you have to micromanage them all the time. Allow them to fail so they can grow. That's my 5-minute forged. And that's the key. Being a dad, one of the hardest leadership things. Also, one of the most rewarding. Look at that smile. See? If you're listening to this instead of watching it, you should be checking this out on YouTube. And that's a beautiful life. All right. Tell you guys later.